Everybody has the file already with you? Okay. So we are continuing our overview of chapter number 2. Up till now, the Lord has described about Sankhya Yoga. That means distinction between soul and the body. He has explained that we are souls and we are not the bodies. The soul can never be destroyed. And then he described that how even working with fruitive mentality, that means working for fruitive results, doing his duty as a Kshatriya to get material rewards is good for him, and not doing his duty is not good for him. So now the Lord has explained in text number 39, Esha te vihita sankhe buddhir yoge tamam shano. Now I'm going to talk to you about Buddhi Yoga, which means Bhakti Yoga. Means with our intelligence, I understand I'm not the body, I'm soul. And by hearing from Bhagavad Gita, I understand I'm Krishna's servant. And my eternal duty is to serve Krishna. And with this understanding, if I execute my duties, then I don't become bound by karma. This is called Buddhi Yoga. It's very simple to understand. Obviously, when you're hearing for the first time, maybe a little difficult, but this is how the discussion is going on. So you please chant with me. We are not discussing each shloka in detail now. We are discussing it in an overview way. We have already discussed these shlokas previously. Nehabhi kramanashosti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. So in order to inspire a person to take up this process, the Lord is glorifying the process of Buddhi Yoga. And he says that Neha na iha abhikrama nashosti. Iha, in this Buddhi Yoga, in this yoga in which you act for Krishna's pleasure without expecting any fruitive results, na iha, in this there is not abhikrama nashasti. Abhikrama means progress. Gradual progress is there, but in whatever progress we are making in bhakti, there is no nash, there is no destruction. And pratyavayo na vidyate. Pratyavayo means that there is no diminution also. Whatever a person can do, whatever he does, little bit or more, it is to his eternal credit when he does it for bhakti. Just like now you may be sitting for Bhagavad Gita class, two devotees are new, may not be understand anything what I'm talking. It is quite possible. It feels like you understand, but after few years you understand. Now I understand. And that happens with everybody. First Bhagavad Gita class I attended, he said, did you understand anything? I said, yes. I could not understand anything, but I felt only nice about it. Yeah, it is nice to hear about some Krishna, Arjuna like that. You don't understand anything, especially 11th chapter. What do you understand immediately? Who is there now? Okay, the late man. Okay, please come. So you understand the first line, ne aha iha abhikrama nashasti pratyavayo na vidyate. Na vidyate is absolutely no diminution, no loss in this process of bhakti. Whatever bhakti you do, that continues for you life after life. You are not here for the first time. You understand this point? And I'm saying here means associating with bhakti process. It is not by accident that Mohit Prabhu has brought you. It doesn't happen with any one of you. Kisi ke sang mein accident nahi ho raha hai. You are accidentally coming to Krishna consciousness. It's not like that. The Lord will inspire a person life after life somehow that if he contacts bhakti, the impressions of bhakti can never ever be destroyed by anything, offense or whatever. I'm not telling you to commit offense. If offenses are there, it may just get covered over, but it can never be destroyed. So whatever chanting we are doing, we are coming to Dham, we're seeing Krishna, now seeing Bhagavad Gita, it can never be destroyed. Even if you want, it cannot be destroyed. That is the whole process of Bhakti Yoga. Karma gets destroyed. You know that. Karma gets destroyed. You chant Hare Krishna, the karma gets destroyed. You take prasadam, karma gets destroyed. But Bhakti can never be destroyed. This will be told by Lord elsewhere on Bhagavatam also. So he says, Neha bhi kramanashasti pratyavayo na vidyate. In this process of Bhakti, there is no diminution. You don't go less. You only go, you increase as you keep on chanting Hare Krishna. That's why very, very important point to be noted. You do bhakti as much you can do right now. Samajh rahe na meri baat? Don't be discouraged if you cannot chant 64 rounds or whatever. And don't try to do that also immediately. Otherwise it will become a load and then we give up the process of bhakti. Do whatever you can do right now in your consciousness. You can chant 16 rounds, fine. You just do it constantly. Because every Mahamantra, every name, we are making progress towards Krishna. Does it make sense? This is a very important point. And what if it is very less? If it is not sufficient, the Lord says, Swalpam appya asya dharmasya trayate mahatu bhyat. Even if this dharma, this bhakti is done very, very less, as in the case of Ajamil, very less. He was only calling the son as Narayan. Just his name, the son's name was fortunately Narayan, not Tommy and Harry. Even if it would have been Hari or Harry, that would have been good. But his name was Narayan. So he said, Narayan, 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 come here, Narayan, eat, Narayan, this like this. So in this way, he got delivered. You know that the Yamdutas came and then he chanted Narayan, and then Lord sent his Dutas from Vaikuntha to save him. This is the potency of bhakti. So Trayate Mahato Bhyat means gliding down, that he will be delivered from the greatest fear of gliding down to hellish conditions of life, even if it is slightly done. So what to talk of when you do it all your life and do it very nicely? That's imperative here. So you understand, the Lord is glorifying this process of Buddhi Yoga or Bhakti Yoga so that we take up to this process. And don't worry if you don't become perfect in this life. If you fall down, then you rise up to Swarga. If you fall down in Bhakti, then we rise to Swarga. But if you actually do nicely Bhakti, then you go back to Godhead. एक बार भगवान के पास पहुंच के सारी टेंशन खत्म. Is it not? Okay. I must tell you, for me now, like Vaikuntha and Goloka is like America and London. It's like natural for me. Vaikuntha hai. I don't know about others, but for me, by hearing again and again, it's a natural thing for me. And that really helps you to come out of the duality. Something will always go wrong in this material world. It is meant to be like this. आपके लिए हो गया ऐसा विश्वास हो गया कि वैकुंठ है? उम्मीद है कि हो गया होगा. If it is just natural for you, if that Vaikuntha, the kingdom of God is there, the spiritual world is there, after some time I have to go there, you will naturally become detached from this material world. Something will always go wrong here. Actually, if you're thinking like that. Anyways, this naturally happens. That makes you very peaceful. ठीक है, यहाँ तो कुछ करना ही नहीं है. We don't have to worry about this world. The world will not worry about you, and you don't have to worry about the world. You have to think about how we can go back to Godhead. That is the mood of a devotee. Anyways, so this happens naturally when you keep on hearing. Text number 41. So now, a person who has understood the glories of bhakti, he will have only one buddhi. I will execute bhakti. Finish. But a person who is desiring material enjoyment, he will have many branched intelligence. That the Lord will tell. व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धिर एकः कुरु नंदना बहुशाखा हि अनंताश्च बुद्धयो व्यवसायिनाम. Vyavasayatmik buddhi. Vyavasai, you understand, Vyavasai means fixed. And you also understand Vyavasai means business. So his Vyavasayatmik buddhi means a buddhi which is business minded. Means his only business is to ekaha. Eka iha. Eka. His only business is to serve Krishna. Kurunanda means who's pleasing to Kurus. It means he's referring to Arjuna. That, oh Arjuna, a person who is fixed in his resolve that I am servant of Krishna, I am soul, I am supposed to go back to Godhead, then his only duty is to serve Krishna. Case closed. He has no other obligation. He does not think that he has to do anything in regard to anybody in this material world for material considerations. Only thing is, I should help people become Krishna conscious. Nothing else. One person asked me, Prabhuji, how to study? Can you tell me how to make notes in studies? The answer was no. That is not my service to teach you how to make mathematics notes or physics notes or chemistry notes. How can you study avidya very nicely? That is not my service. You ask your tuition master. People have no brains what to ask a sadhu for. If you go to a doctor, will you ask them, can you teach me mathematics? Does it make sense? And if you go to your ethics teacher and say, can you tell me, I am bukhar ho gaya, tell me what is my disease, pathological report. So when you approach a sadhu, you don't ask him how to improve your mathematics paper. That doesn't work. So we don't also serve that. Because ये हमारे restaurant में नहीं मिलता है. It's not available in our restaurant. You go elsewhere. This dish is not available. How I can very enjoy nicely material in this world? You can never enjoy. There will always be some suffering. No matter how much money you have or something, there will always be something which is going to disturb you. And all my devotees are counseling. Some people don't have money, they are in trouble. They think they are in trouble. And some people have money and then they are in trouble. So everybody is in trouble. This is crores of rupees and still they are in trouble. So trouble is like, I give you an example. Like today I had a dream that we have it in a car, and in the car there is a lion. And we are thinking how to shoot the lion. What is the solution of the problem? Wake up. You don't have to, then there will be no lion and there will be nothing, no problem. But if you don't wake up, then you are absorbed in it. How to shoot the lion? How to shoot the lion? Strange dreams. I don't know why it comes. So if we wake up to the reality, I am soul, I am not this body. And Krishna, I belong to Krishna. I must serve Krishna and go back to Krishna. Then things are very easy. Otherwise, we keep on planning and planning and planning. What you can do? And that's what the Lord tells about the next sloka. Bahu shakha hi anantascha buddhayo avavasayinam. Avavasai means whose business in material world is not finished. They think still that they can enjoy in some way. Then bahu shakha. Bahu shakha, you understand? Just like if you take my hand and it has, up till now it is only one shakha, and then there are many multiple shakhas from this, like this. So I have to do this, I have to do that, I must enjoy like this. So if a person has that kind of intelligence, then bahu shakhai anantascha. Bahu shakha, there are 5 shakhas, you can compare my finger, and from there, unlimited desires. And desires are basically categorized into 4 desires: eating, mating, sleeping, and defending. How I can do it in a different way? How can I do it in a different way? Somebody sent me a video on WhatsApp, some strange video. It was, the food was there and something was dancing on the food. Not a live thing, but something. I don't know, by the photo or something they have projected. And then they will take charge money from you. You have a cake, you would have eaten the cake nicely. Offer to Krishna, eat the cake. But then one need to pay money to have some light projection on it, so it will look very strange. And then how when you eat the when you eat the cake, how it will taste? The same. So now you understand, people waste so much of their human intelligence in all those stupid things. It's a very stupid thing. So that's what the Lord is saying. Buddhayo avavasayinam. They have many branched intelligence, and the role of the intelligence is to plan the thoughts of sense gratification which arise like a bubble in the mind. They are executed with the help of the intelligence. And now, if you have a Vyavasayitmaka intelligence, the mind will say, such a beautiful girl, why don't you marry her? That's what the mind says for everybody. And they say, what will happen after that? If you have a transcendental intelligence, then you say, what will happen after that? That the mind will not want to listen. But with intelligence, you say, what will happen? Will she give you nice prasadam like Karnamit Prabhu is giving? No, maybe you will have to cook, my dear Prabhu. I'm just giving an example. Same thing, car. Oh, such a nice car. Mind is, you must have it, you must work hard for it and work like a donkey for it. But then you see, are all the people who are in this car, are they happy? Then another attraction is, what is that? Home. Oh, kya villa banaya hai. Wow, what a great bangla. Is he in anxiety? Yes. He has to put an electric lock, he has to put a chowkidar, and then he has to sit like this. And our rooms are open. Is it not right now also open? All the time open, 24 hour open. Le jao bhai, jisko le jana. Bhagavad rakhi hui hai, koi leke jata nahi. Only Bhagavatam is there. Nobody will steal. Is it not? And laptop I carry with myself. But that also people don't steal. So we don't have anything much. Then you don't worry about it. Is it not? We are here just like we are here for an airport. Everybody will take up his plane and go somewhere else. Now you have to select, or I have to select which airplane I want to board. You serve Krishna, you go back to Krishna. Simple. Okay. Now if my parents don't want to go, what can I do? Now the Lord explains in 42 and 43 why they are like this. Why it is like this. The Vedas themselves inspire them. So one time somebody asked, how can Vedas cheat the soul? Yes, because the soul wants to be cheated. That's why Vedas also cheat them, but also give them a process by which they can gradually progress. So here, Yamimam pushpitam vacham pravadanti avipashyataha vedavada rataha partha nanyadasti tivadinaha kamatmanaha swarga para janma karma falapradam kriya vishesha bahulam bhogeshwarya gatim prati. So, yam, what does it? Yam imam, all these, pushpitam vacham, flowery language. Maybe the fan can be increased a little bit, but it will become too much high. Pravadanti avipaschitah. Pravadanti means they speak a lot. And avipaschitah means they are not able to see the truth. Maybe you can switch on the air conditioner or something, I don't know what. This has to be little, it's okay. People can tolerate me and tolerate the heat also. Yam imam pushpitam. Now, how to explain this? There is a plant called poison ivy. Have you heard of it? Poison ivy is a very dangerous plant, but the flowers are very, very, very beautiful to look. So the Vedas, there are flowery verses which describe, oh, if you do this yagya, you will go to Swarga, and there are so many beautiful damsels waiting for you, apsaras waiting for you, and you will enjoy very nicely. But they don't tell that is not eternal. If you do this Chaturmasya Vrata, you will enjoy eternally in Swarga. Is it true? It is not true. Swarga is not eternal. So Yam Imam Pushpitam Vacham, they become attracted by the flowery languages of the Vedas. Do this yagya, do this karmakanda, and you will become very happy by enjoying. Pravadanti avipaschitah. Avipaschitah. Pasya means to see. Vipashya means to see very nicely. Avipashya means they cannot see very nicely. Or rather they say very nicely they cannot see. ऐसा कहना चाहिए. They just cannot see that I am soul and I cannot be happy by any material arrangement. It's like yesterday one devotee was telling, I said, oh, my mother will die if I join ashram or this. I said, nobody dies. First of all, nobody dies. No, Prabhuji, you are telling, but it is not entering into my heart. What can you do? Nobody dies. First of all, nobody dies for anybody. Everybody dies when his karma gets finished. The mother and father can die in front of you also. Is it not? ऐसा नहीं होता है? ऐसा ही तो होता है. Most of the time, mother and father are dying in front of you, not that everybody is joining the ashram and then mother father are dying. I have not heard even one case up till now where a boy has joined ashram and then mother father has died. आपने सुना है किसी का? They will say all these things, but nobody dies for anybody. Okay. Why they are like this? Vedavad ratah partha. O Partha, O Arjuna, they are Vedavad ratis. They are very much attached to the flowery language of the Vedas, which is promising karmakandiya benefits. And they say, Nanyad astiti vadina. Nanyad astiti. Bhai, aur kuch hai nahi. There is nothing beyond this. For them, only Vedas means karmakanda, do some fruitive activity and go to Swarga. Now the situation is so bad that people are not even proper bona fide karmis. They are weak karmis. Do you agree? People are not even karmis. Karmi means they will do some karma kanda and they would like to go to Swarga. Now people have rejected Swarga also. Only thing is maybe UAE is a Swarga for them, or Dubai, or maybe maximum America or Canada. Canada is the Swarga for them. They don't think about even going to Swarga. That is a problem. Just a second.
So nowadays we see that Brahmanas doing Satyanarayana Puja while watching Android phone.
Oh, so he's giving us new information that Brahmanas doing Satyanarayana Katha while watching Android phone. Yeah. Well, you see the ISKCON devotees also doing that. You can't chanting Hare Krishna and watching WhatsApp and all those things. So you can't blame them also. We have started the parampara. You must have seen from us. You can chant Hare Krishna and you can also check WhatsApp.
They are putting some recordings and doing some puja.
All those things will happen, but that we are not referring. We are talking about proper bona fide karmis who actually want to do some yagya and want to go to Swarga. But for them, spiritual world and all those things, kya baat hai? It's all mythology. They will say like this. Kamatmanah Swargapara. Kamatmanah. Atmana means heart. Their heart is filled with lusty desires. Swargapara. They want to go to Swarga. Swarga, you understand? Heavenly planets. Janma karma phala pradam. Or they will engage in activity which will give them a very high birth, or they will get a very nice karma phal. They will be enjoying very nicely in this world. So they either have an attitude of enjoying in this world, or they have an attitude of enjoying in Swarga. I don't have the facility to unmute Mataji right now. But Richa Mataji, many people must be coming to you for self-realization, is it not? When they will show your chart to you, Richa Mataji, and as an astrologer, screen is not visible. Like that? I think screen must be visible. Not visible?
It's
It's freezing. Yes, it's freezing cold here. Today also internet is having a problem. But can you hear the audio? So you see the shloka, at least you can hear. So no problem. But can you hear the audio? Okay. So I'm just curious with, I'm asking Richa Mataji, she's also on Zoom. She's a very great astrologer. Great, I don't know, but she's an astrologer. So now, so has anyone approached you, Mataji? I am having difficulty in my spiritual life. How can I realize myself? No, never. Bacha nahi ho raha hai, naukri nahi lag rahi hai. That much only they will ask, is it not? I don't have son. I don't have this problem, that problem. And that much only they can think. And she's a devotee, then she tells them to chant Hare Krishna. But has any of the Pandits ever spoken about self-realization to us? If at all we ever met them? Any Brahmana, any Pandit, सब लोग मिले हैं कभी पंडित जी से? Apart from ISKCON devotees, you must have met some Pandit ji, at least in somebody's marriage. Swaha, swaha, something. They never say anything about how you can be liberated. So now you see it is happening here. You know that your village, what is his name? Pandit ji, Durga ji ka worshipper, क्या नाम है उसका? I'm forgetting his name. Now it got, you know, anyhow, forget his name. So that's what one devotee is saying, that they only talk about this life. Now voice is also breaking. Why don't you provide me a good internet connection? Now it's okay. Okay. ठीक है. At least audio तो आ रहा है, tolerate कर लीजिए. क्रिया विशेष बहुलाम. क्रिया विशेष means there will be lot of rituals in that process. Swaha, ha ha, dhua, all those things will happen. I've told several times in Jodhpur we had this bus party, and there were 1,008 kundiya yagyas. Kundiya yagyas. And if you tell them why chant Hare Krishna, then they say, kya hoga? It's too small. What will happen with this mala? Isse kya hone wala hai? They can't understand the benefit of chanting Hare Krishna. And yesterday what we read? Koti Ashwamedh Yagya Krishna Ek Krishnam Sam. And if somebody says like this, that 1 crore Ashwamedh Yagya is equal to chanting once Krishna, then he will be beaten very nicely by Yamraj. Now can you, Dande Tara Yam. Khub pitai hogi jam karke. So can you imagine the fortune of chanting Hare Krishna? And if your parents say, you are a girl now, you are too young, you cannot chant Hare Krishna. So they are stopping you from the highest benefit. So for that you can take out, become Jhansi ki Rani, you know. No, whatever you do, I will chant Hare Krishna. You don't stop me from chanting Hare Krishna. The point is we don't understand the value of Hare Krishna. That's why we listen to anybody do that he should not chant Hare Krishna. So anyhow, Kriya Vishesha Bahulam. It's amazing. One Mataji was told, chastised by her mother, why are you chanting Hare Krishna? Why are you chanting Hare Krishna? But she herself chastised her. Hey, wake up in the morning, let us go for taking Ganga bath. Now if you ask her, we are already taking bath in our bathroom. Why you have to go and take Ganga bath in the winter season? Are you crazy? Makes sense to you? It's craziness, is it not? आप तो बाथरूम में स्नान कर ही रहे हैं गर्म पानी से, ठंडे पानी से क्यों स्नान करने जा रहे हैं, वो भी बाहर. Voice is breaking. There is some problem in my head. Speaking role. आवाज नहीं आ रही है, क्या करें, आवाज कट रही है. देखते हैं कौन सा वाला. Airtel WD. Maybe I should stop live streaming. Is that right? Doesn't matter. Can't connect to this network.
The password is @3.
ये तो कठिनाई है. ये तो बड़ा एक बार वृंदावन को ट्राई करूं.
नहीं हो रहा.
वृंदावन नहीं चल रहा. गैलेक्सी क्या? So you understood this point, and Kriya Vishesh Bahulam means that they are very much attached to doing big activities, but if you tell them to chant Hare Krishna or pay obeisances to Krishna, they won't be interested. But Bhog Aishwarya Gatim Prati, they are very much attached to Bhog Aishwarya Gati, That means going to heavenly planets. And that's why they are doing those things. And they don't understand that even by devotional service, you can go to Swarga very easily. You remember 18th chapter, 5 shlokas, he was chanting and he went to Swarga without doing very big yajnas. Which 5 shlokas? But now somebody will say, but if somebody tells them that you please behave properly, you should take to the path of self-realization, will they listen? No. And that is spoken in text number 44. Bhogeshwarya prasaktanam taya parhit chetasam vyavasayatmika buddhi samadhau na vidhiyate. Bhog Aishwarya prasaktanam. Asakta word you have heard. Asakta means attached. So person who is attached to bhog and Aishwarya, enjoyment and opulences, then because of that prasaktanam, they are very much attached to this Aishwarya, this opulent life. Taya parhit chetasam. By that aparhan you understand? Kidnap. Say their chetana or consciousness is kidnapped. They just can't understand that we are souls. We are not this material body. So nothing material, even Swarga, will not satisfy the soul. That they cannot understand. This you get very easily by chanting Hare Krishna. I remember when I went to Indonesia, I did not go out of the temple. That's my nature. It's like I'm like a bahu. No, I don't like to go out here and there. I just remain fixed to my temple here also. And then when I went there, I have no interest in going anywhere. But they said, no, you please see a new center. It is next to the sea. And this. We went there. And for a fraction of a second, the sea looks very beautiful. And then you say, oh, yeah, what is that? So as a devotee, you don't become illusioned by these things. That naturally happens. Andar se Bhagwan switch off kar dete. We are very great. Yeah, then. Kya hai? Big ocean. You can't drink it anyways. It's not how much you can drink. It only looks beautiful. Even it is covers complete mode of goodness only. Still. Wood house. Yeah, very beautiful. Then, have you ever seen a wood house? House made only of wood? Huh? Yagashala, but Yagashala they all still have some iron pieces, bamboo, but pure actual wood. I have seen that, but still, what? Kuch nahi. So we see that when we have this nice experience of chanting Hare Krishna, it is so nice. Even in your 16 rounds, even if few Mahamantras are very tasty, you feel enlivened, is it not? Even just few Mahamantras, 4 or 5 Mahamantras, Krishna attentively ho jata and Krishna gives you that blissful experience. The pura payment hoga, pura payment, down payment. Whole day you are feel so nice. That's how it is. And that's how we realize how we become happy by Atma. So, Vyavasayatmika buddhi samadhau na vidhiyate. Such a person who is attached to material enjoyment, uski buddhi Bhagwan mein fix nahi hone wali. For him, this fixation of mind on Krishna and the process of Krishna consciousness will not happen. Srila Prabhupada explains very nicely elsewhere in Bhagavad Gita only, a person who wants to become a great man in this world cannot surrender to Krishna. Simple as a point, if you want to be a great man in a jail, would you like to come out of the jail? You're a great man, how? Itna mante humko aap? People give me so much respect here. So if I am working for material rewards in this material world, it is difficult to surrender to Krishna. Surrendering to Krishna means being non-envious of anybody, maintain for your bodily existence and go back to Krishna and do bhakti. अच्छी खासी भक्ति करनी पड़ेगी भगवान के पास जाने के लिए. We have to do sufficient amount of bhakti when you can think of going back to Godhead. So we minimize our needs. I don't say we minimize our needs. Actually, our needs get minimized. I would put it like that. Now you understand? For everybody. The way the devotees on Zoom I am particularly seeing, and other devotees hopefully must be chanting in the temple also nicely, hopefully even if they are not joining. So naturally you must be feeling, I just need 2 times prasadam. Even earlier used to take 4 times, is it not? Or any time. Whenever is the time, what is the time for eating food? When the food is in front of you. But now it is 2 times, and that is, even for me, to take out this 15 minutes in the evening, for taking prasadam is like a burden. I mean, I have to eat because I have to eat. So that's how, as you keep on practicing Krishna consciousness, naturally become detached from all these mundane things. Even that hankering, I'll explain this. Like today I was in Mangalarti, and I was so how to explain it? I was so peaceful that nobody is noticing me. No, maybe hundreds of devotees. You're just another devotee in this whole big temple. And then when you go out, the same thing is there. Thousands of people are there. Who cares about you? Are you able to understand that hankering to get recognition, if that is driven away from your heart, how much peaceful you are? You can peacefully chant Hare Krishna. Don't people work for all these things? अरे हमारा कुछ नाम कमाना है, कुछ नाम कमाना है. हमको भी नाम कमाना है, but Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Okay, that is real नाम कमाई. बाकी सब तो व्यर्थ है. People will not accept it, but then anyways. So then the Lord is telling about the differentiation between following the Vedic path and a person who's transcendentalist. So here very carefully. Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nistraigунyo Bhavarjuna Nirdvando Nitya Sattvasto Niryoga Shema Atmava. Traigunya Vishaya Veda. The Vedas are dealing with the three modes of material nature. People are in mode of ignorance, mode of passion, and mode of goodness, and how to somehow they deal with them, how to elevate them from their position of consciousness is the matter of Vedas. It's not really transcendental. Now you must understand, Traigunya Vishaya Veda, it means that for most part, Vedas are dealing with the modes of material nature. It's not that nothing in the Vedas is transcendental. It is not that nothing in Vedas is transcendental. That means some portions of the Vedas are transcendental, but mostly Vedas are dealing with Karma Kanda. Are you able to understand why it's like that? Because mostly people are of that adhikar. समझ रहे ना? Bhakti also is emanating from Vedas only. Means you learn to do bhakti from Vedic knowledge, from Vedic literatures only. Srimad Bhagavatam, like Bhagavad Gita here. But when it says Traigunya Vishaya Veda, means mostly the Vedas are dealing with the Karma Kand portion of the Vedas. Can you understand why? Because people want that. And in that way, it is administered that, okay, you do Karma Kanda, but then you make gradual progress towards Krishna consciousness. You understand these things? We have explained it. Then the Lord is saying, Nistra Gunyo Bhavarjuna. Oh Arjuna, you rise above these three modes of material nature. And what is the process? Bhakti. Mam chayo vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sa gunan samati tetan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. A person who worships Krishna without material desires, by the process of bhakti, he becomes elevated and he transcends the modes of material nature. So that bhakti is also coming from Vedas only. Shruti Smriti Pranadi. All those things, bhakti have to be established on the principles of Vedas. So Vedas also give you bhakti. Hare Krishna mantra is from Kali Santaran Upanishad. Upanishad is part of the Vedas. Are you able to understand this point? This was a major point of confusion. Vedas are dealing with modes of material nature. So I have to leave the Vedas? No, you have to leave that portion of the Vedas which is dealing with Karma Kanda. But you must accept the portion of the Vedas which are bhakti, which gives you knowledge of bhakti. बहुत तेज जा रहे हैं तो तेज जाने के लिए तो ओवरव्यू है. Overview means you are going to wait really fast because details we have discussed earlier. Nirdvandva means do not be disturbed by the dualities of this material world. Happiness will come, distress will come. What is that? Gain will come, loss will come. So you remain fixed in Krishna consciousness. I do not belong to this place. Whatever has to come will come as per my karma. I have no control over it also. Make sense? Some people just take your whatever money away. What you can do about it? You can cry over it. Actually, when people steal money from me, I don't even investigate. In most cases, after investigation, it won't come back. So when it won't come back, then what's the point of investigation? Make sense? Just be more careful. Like somebody took the smartphone which my mother gave me. Now one devotee is saying, उसने लिया है, उस पे शक करो, उसने लिया सकता है, उस पे शक करो. मैंने कहा मैं किसी पे शक नहीं कर रहा, मैं सब पे विश्वास कर रहा हूँ. What is the point? You develop this mentality of only thing you should remember, nobody can steal your bhakti. And in that you should invest. Everything material will be taken away in due course of time by somebody or time itself. So this is very important. Nirdvanda Nitya Sattvastha. Nitya Sattvastha was explained in which way? Sattvastha. How does the purpose is? In a pure state of spiritual existence, you should remember that I am soul, I don't belong to this material world, and my only duty is to serve Krishna and somehow other maintain this body. Bas. Niryoga Shema Atmavan. Niryoga Shema Atmavan means one should not worry too much how this body will be maintained, what will happen. Or one word one was that Niryoga means yoga means to gain. So don't be in anxiety to gain something which you don't have. And Shema means don't be in too much anxiety to protect things which you have. Because they all will be destroyed by imperceptible force of time. And then we will be in lamentation or hankering. Are you able to understand this? Just like I have this box. I'm not giving an advertisement for it, but I'm just saying this. I have a Prabhupada box. Do you think it's going to be with me for whole of my life? It just put in your head, buy a freezer. Will it be with you for the whole of life? Or refrigerator, or anybody, or even your wife or husband, or your friends? Have you ever noticed that in due course of time, some friends have come in your life, and in due course of time, they go away also? Have you noticed that? Can you see that? If you can see, we won't even hate anyone. In due course of time, somebody whom you are not knowing also, he becomes your friend, and due course of time, suddenly somebody becomes so envious of you. जिसको आप जानते भी नहीं थे. जैसे 2 years or 3 years back, you are not even knowing him. So see it that under the purview of karma, under the purview means as per our karma, under kala, under time, people will come and go. People will come and go. We are not here to hate people. नहीं समझ में आ रहा? It's very nice. So in this way, and things will come and things will go also. If you can actually see it. Suddenly somebody gives you something, and then suddenly somebody takes those things away also. This is going to happen. This happens with everybody. You are not alone. Sabhi ke sang hota hai.
People say generally, we remember those moments that we have spent with you. But after some time, it also vanishes.
Everything gets vanished.
No use of thinking.
We address ladies as Mataji, so don't be offended. Mataji, what is your name? Huh? Ananya Mataji. So Ananya Mataji, how is your wife from your previous life? My wife? Prabhuji, I'm not married. I'm such a young late girl. What are you talking about? But you're not 30 years old, is it not? 30 years back you were existing? So you are saying no because you don't know about soul. But we are soul and we are not the bodies. So 30 years back you also had a family. Do you remember them? Maybe they still have a photo of you in a different form. Maybe like a man or something like that. Oh, Papa chale gaye. But who knows? Is it not? Just imagine, if I die now, will you know where I'm going? Maybe you can say good words. Yeah, we know, Prabhuji, you go back to Godhead or whatever. But you don't know. आप अंदाजा मार रहे हैं कि मैं कहाँ गया हूँ. But you don't know where I'm going. We may write Golokvasi, Swargvasi, Narakvasi. Narakvasi, nobody writes. Oh, Krishna. That chala gaya tha beech mein. Anyhow, whenever we have, okay, 10 minutes. Should I have Hare Krishna mantra or whatever? Okay. So no problem. I was not discussing this shloka. I was just cracking some joke. But a joke is very, 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 very serious. In our previous life also. Just not long back. Is it not? Not very long back. Now my body's age is 38 years. So 45 years also back I have the same thing, same routine. Same routine. Office जाना है, खाना बनाना है, बच्चों को ध्यान रखना है, and then same, you get a पुरस्कार. So, प्रभु जी एक ही उदाहरण बार बार क्यों देते हो आप? नया कुछ एग्जाम्पल देना चाहिए. Because the same thing is not entering our head. The truth is, we have lived so many lives. So now this time, this life should be for Krishna. Now, somebody will say, oh, if I am giving, you are telling me to give up the portions of the Vedas, I will be at some loss. Then he says, no. Yavanartha udapane sarvatah samplutodake tavan sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijanatah. So beautiful. I will read the translation of it. First of all, let us see the translation. Very nice. All purposes served by a small well can at once be served by a great reservoir of water. Similarly, all the purposes of the Vedas can be served to one who knows the purpose behind them. बहुत सुंदर बात बोल रहे हैं. If you have a small well, then whatever you can get from the small well, you can also get from a great reservoir. Is it not? So person who knows the purpose of Vedas. What is the purpose of Vedas? To know Krishna. How do you know Krishna? By bhakti. So if you are doing bhakti, you will know Krishna. So you don't have to read all the immense Vedic literature to understand what is the purpose of Vedas. Are you able to understand this point? Very beautiful point. The rewards of bhakti are infinite actually. So if you're chanting Hare Krishna, you're hearing Bhagavad Gita, you're hearing Bhagavatam, you don't have to read all the Karma Kandi sections of the Vedas. समझ रहे ना मेरी बात? It's very important. Again, I'll repeat, the Karma Kandi section is for those people who are into material enjoyment. So for their gradual purification, rules and regulations are mentioned so that they can make gradual progress and then will ultimately come to Bhakti. Somehow they'll get purified like this. So a person who's chanting Hare Krishna, who doesn't have to इतना मेहनत करने की जरूरत नहीं कि वेद पढ़े, does not have to read Vedas and all these things. Absolutely. Rather, if he starts reading Vedas, it's derogatory for him. Why? If you're chanting Hare Krishna, why you have to read Vedas? An example is given. Srimad Bhagavatam is a matured fruit of Vedas. Nigama kalpataror galitam phalam. So now, if you suppose you got a mango, very sweet mango, will you count? Have you ever counted how many leaves are there in the tree? आपने कभी किया ऐसा? Nobody does it. If you are eating a mango, Gupta ji, will you count how many leaves are there in the tree? You don't worry. Do you feel attracted to the trees also? Do you think about it? What a beautiful tree must be with green leaves. No, you are absorbed in eating the mango and tasting the mango. So when you are doing bhakti, that is the fruit of all Vedic literatures, or the fruit of Nigamakalp. What is that now? Nigamakalpa Valli. Satphalam Chit Sarupam. The holy name is the transcendental fruit of the desired tree of the Vedas. If you are chanting Hare Krishna, there is no need for reading Vedic literatures. Then why are you teaching us Bhagavad Gita? Bhagavad Gita hearing is bhakti. Hearing Srimad Bhagavatam is bhakti. So we do that. But we don't read those Vedic literatures which are Karma Kandiya. We don't do that. Are you able to understand? So we are not in any way in any loss by not reading those Karma Kandi section of the Vedas which are dealing with the three modes of material nature. Just like if a person has a great reservoir of water, everything what he needs will get. Just you don't have to do something separate. Make sense? Now the Lord explains about Nishkam Karma. Karmanevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturbhur mate sangostva karmani. So the Lord is saying, you have adhikar or right over actions. Karmani eva adhikaraste. Are you able to understand? Okay. Ma phaleshu kadachana, but you don't have rights over the fruits. Now this is a very misapplied shloka. Many times people say, karma karo, phal ki ichha mat karo. Phir chahe kuch bhi karo. But that is not understanding. We have the right to do our duty as per varnashram or any action because we are supposed to act. Atma is active always. So we have a right to perform our actions. But the fruits should be offered to Krishna. Because we are not the alone doer in any action. We know what the 5 causes of action: body, senses, living endeavor, the living entity and ultimate doer is Krishna. I want to speak. Can I speak on my own? Do you understand this? How do you understand? How do you understand, Mataji? Do you understand? How do you understand? Do you understand that you're not understanding? How do you understand that you're not understanding? All those things nobody knows, is it not? कुछ नहीं पता चल रहा ना कि I'm speaking something and you're laughing. Why you're laughing? We just it's amazing. We are in the body. We think everything belongs to me. I must enjoy, but nothing we know. We take a lot of prasadam. How it gets digested? Krishna's kripa. So that's why Lord is saying the fruits should be offered to Krishna, and in that we won't be bound by acting. Ma karma phala hetubhur. Do not think that you are the cause of the actions. Sorry, the cause of the fruit of the actions. Never. The fruit of the action is given by the Lord, not by you. Mate sangostva karmani. And do not be attached. Sangha means attached. Do not be attached to not doing your duties. Why a person will be attached to not doing his duties? Because he will think, I'll become bound by those duties. I give an example. A soldier is killing. He's shooting so many arrows, or you can say now in what context? Bullets. But he knows that I am shooting it for the government, then he doesn't become bound. But if he comes home and he shoots one person, chalo, jail mein. So he cannot question, Are, I have been shooting so many people there, you were giving me rewards. And now here I am shooting one person and you are keeping me in jail. Doesn't work, is it not? So now you understand. So you can offer food as much as you want, or nahi. You can eat as much as you want if you offer your food to Krishna. But if you don't offer your food to Krishna, then with every morsel I'm getting bound in this material world. Are you able to understand? One more example we gave was a cashier of the bank. He can count hundreds and thousands of rupees of notes. But as soon as he takes even one note, he becomes bound. So he should not, the cashier does not say, hey, इसमें तो मुझे कुछ मिल ही नहीं रहा है. Why should I count it? I am not getting anything out of it. Why should I count it? When we act in this way, we get spiritual knowledge. Although we are acting externally, the spiritual knowledge becomes awakened within. Okay? Example has been given by the acharyas. If a lady is pregnant and she has child in her womb, the child is not visible, but the child will be visible in due course of time. Similarly, a person may be acting externally, but the spiritual knowledge will manifest internally. Although in that actions, spiritual knowledge is not immediately manifest or is immediately visible. समझ में है मेरी बात? Okay. योगस्था कुरु कर्माणि संगम त्यक्त्वा धनंजया सिद्ध्य सिद्ध्यो समो भूत्वा समत्वम योग उच्यते. So that's why yogastha kuru karmani. O kuru, not kuru, do. Kuru means perform. So, O Arjuna, you should perform actions in yoga, situated in the platform of yoga. I am doing this action for Krishna. It's like now I'm speaking Bhagavad Gita. I'm not getting bound by it because I'm doing for Krishna. समझ रहे ना मेरी बात? We're going to take prasadam now. That is for Krishna. It is for you. No, it is for Krishna. Krishna becomes pleased when we take his remnants. That is devotional service. समझ रहे ना मेरी बात? तो easy है. Sangam tyaktva dhananjaya. You give up attachment. Attachment to two things. I am the doer, and what will I get from this? What will I get from this? These two, sense of enjoyer, a sense of doership has to be given up. Oh Dhananjaya, you have been collecting a lot of wealth. Dhananjaya means who collects a lot of wealth. Siddhya asiddhya samam bhutva. You may become perfect, or you may become successful, or you may not become successful. But in both situations, you remain equanimous. This is very, very important. Samatvam yogochite. You remain equanimous in both situations. Sometimes you may have taste for chanting. Sometimes you may not have taste for chanting. All those things. But we must remember all those things will come by Krishna's mercy. And if you stop chanting, if you become affected by these things, today I will not have taste for chanting, so I will not chant. And what if Krishna wants to reveal taste for chanting on that day? This is a major problem with all the sadhakas. Prabhu ji, man nahi lag raha hai. Ye nahi ho raha hai. Aisa hai, waisa hai. You stop about this. You just focus on doing your duty in Krishna consciousness. Make sense? Samatvam yogochite. You remain equanimous. The Lord will hit this point again and again. You remain fixed in doing your duties. हमारा कर्तव्य करना है. We have to do our duties. Krishna has told us to preach. We will preach. Now, whether it becomes successful or unsuccessful is not up to us. But remember, it doesn't make us irresponsible. We'll put our best effort, but still, if Krishna wants us to be unsuccessful, fine. He brings unsuccessfulness, or whatever you can say, failure in front of us to test whether we'll remain equanimous or not. And if we remain equanimous, that is our success. नहीं समझ में आ रहा है? This is one Lord, one Master who says, I don't judge you by results. Everybody in this world will judge you by result only. We can take a few more shlokas. How many? 49? There are only 3 shlokas or 4 shlokas are there. We will finish with that. Don't worry, we have sufficient prasadam. We have the devotee Kachari in charge sitting here. So he will help us to have prasadam. Your Atma anyhow not going to die. What do you worry? Arey, phas gaye, galat phas gaye. Just 10 minutes and we'll finish. Text 49. Yes, you can look at the watch. I'm also looking at the watch. No problem. I know you're getting bored, but 10 minutes of more will bore you for 10 minutes more. दूरेण हि अवरम कर्मा बुद्धि योगा धनंजया बुद्धौ शरणमन विच्छा कृपणा फल हेतवा. वेरी ब्यूटीफुल. दूरेण हि अवरम कर्मा. You discard, दूर से दूर कर दो उसको. He means certainly. Avaram karma means actions which are done for fruitive mentality. What I'm going to get from this action? You give up all those actions from a distance because they are going to bind you to this material world. Buddhi Yoga Dhananjaya. How? By Buddhi Yoga. By intelligence you must act. I must act for Krishna. So in that way I give up the mentality of working or engaging in actions which are for sense gratification. Buddhau Sharanam Anvichha. You take shelter of your intelligence, transcendental intelligence, that I am soul, I am servant of the Lord, I must act only for Krishna. Okay? Kripanaha Phala Hetava. Those who are misers, they work for fruitive results. I will get Sarga, I'll get fame in this world, and you won't get Krishna. समझे ना? ये मांगी नहीं रहे तो मिलेगा भी नहीं. यार टाइम लगेगा. क्या हुआ? Yes, the question is, if there is no desire for fruits, how will he work? You want the fruit. The word fruit is self-purification, not material enjoyment. Fruit, when I say fruit, means result. The result, what he wants is purification of heart, not mundane fruits of material enjoyment. Don't you desire that your heart becomes purified and you have regular taste for chanting? Oh, nobody's in with me. I think in Zoom devotee, everybody wants to go to Swarga. Zoom it to Swarga. Ashutosh Prabhu, do you want that your heart to be purified very fast? Or chalne do aaram se, koi dikkat nahi hai. Do we think like this? Any of you think like this? That Lord, don't purify my heart, let me enjoy very nicely. We don't think like this, is it not? Right now must be thinking, is it not? All this lust and all these things, this baggage should go immediately. And then I will have so much peaceful taste for chanting Hare Krishna. All devotees desire like this. I mean, hopefully, anybody who's practicing Krishna consciousness strongly, that is a natural hankering. Oh my Lord, when all these useless things will be taken away from the heart. Like my Guru Maharaj had a very nice prayer. Please give me a pure heart. I will first pray, Krishna, please give me pure internet so that I can preach properly. First you tell us to preach. Now you're not giving us internet. What is this, Krishna? कुछ सुविधा देंगे तब तो. Give us a facility, then we can follow the rule of preaching. अरे भाई, अनीस से कनेक्ट करूं. This breaks the whole flow. Maybe I do that. So then he says, Kripanaha Phala Hetava. Those who are miserly in heart, they work for small things, petty things. Oh, why is calling me now? Don't call me now. So much trouble. Okay, you understood this? 2 shlokas and we'll finish. Prabhuji, आप अच्छे व्यक्ति नहीं. बुद्धि युक्तो जहाति ह उभे सुकृत दुष्कृते तस्मात् योगाय युज्यस्व योगः कर्मसु कौशलम. बुद्धि युक्तो जहाति इह उभे सुकृत दुष्कृते. Ubhe means both, and sukrit means and duskrit. Sukrit means good actions, and duskrit means bad actions. So a person who is endowed with proper intelligence that I am servant of Krishna and I must serve Krishna selflessly, he gives up. What? Sukrit, duskrit. For enjoying, if you have sukriti, we'll have to come again to enjoy here. Is it not? Become more intelligent, more beautiful, and suffer here more. And if we have duskriti, then we have suffer again because it's sinful. So now, tasmat, therefore, yogaya yujasva, that you must be engaged in yoga. You should fight. but in the form of a yoga, in the form of an offering of an action to Krishna. समझ रहे हैं? योगः कर्मसु कौशलम. This is the art of acting. सांप मर जाए, लाठी भी न टूटे. You have to act and you will act, but you don't get bound by the karma. I know for new devotees maybe it is OST, but if you come every day to hear, that is not that difficult. Last shloka for today. Karmajam buddhi yukta hi phalam. Is it really last? Oh, 53 is a lot. Sorry. I made a wrong announcement. Karmajam buddhi yukta hi phalam tyaktva manishinaha janma bandha vinirmukta padam gachanti namaham. What will be the benefit if I act like this? Then it says, Karmajam buddhi yukta hi phalam tyaktva manishina. Those who are intelligent manishi, they give up this attitude of enjoying the results of their actions. And what will happen to them? Janma bandha vinirmukta padam gachanti namayam. They become free from this bondage of birth and death. Again take birth, again die. Again take birth, again die. They become vinirmukta. They never come back here. And padam gachanti namayam. They go to a place where it is anamay. Amay means disease. Anamay means where there is no disease, death, old age and all this. They go to the spiritual world. Okay. Give me some time. Today is Sunday, is it not? Now if Arjuna asked, when will I have that intelligence? After how much time I'll become Krishna conscious? This question sometimes asked. Kitna samay lagega Prabhuji? Kitna time lagega? The Lord says, Yada te moha kalilam buddhir vyatitarishyati tada gantansi nirvedam chrotavasya shrutastacha. There is no time frame. You will know when you have transcended these modes of material nature, you will come to know on your own. There is no time limit. Yada te moha kalilam. Kalilam means kichad or dense darkness. So now when your intelligence, buddhi vyatitarishati, when your intelligence is coming out of this moha kalila, the forest of illusion that I am this body, I must enjoy through this body, all those things when you come out because of practice of yoga, tadagantansi nirvedam, then you become nirveda, you become indifferent to whatever you have heard from Vedas or shrutavasya or whatever, shrutasacha, whatever is supposed to be heard and whatever you have heard. Means all the promises of Vedas that you will enjoy very nicely in heavenly planets, you will completely become indifferent. So this shows that you will become purified by acting in yoga. By actions which are dedicated to Krishna, you become purified in consciousness and you understand, I don't want anything in this material world. समझ में आ रहा? कुछ नहीं चाहिए जगत से हमको. और कोई कुछ बोलेगा भी तो, hear about this, I don't like this. Hear about this. Make sense? Or if you must have heard something and the mind says, what about that? Boring. You understand Nirveda? Nirveda means boring. Sometimes we have experienced that on that day some devotee came in the class and I was discussing Chaitan Charitamrita and he was looking, what is this happening? But they felt boring, is it not? So similarly, a devotee finds everything boring in this material world. Hey, वहाँ पे शादी हो रही, the marriage party. I'm sick. मैं बीमार हूँ. All this, everything becomes boring. Only thing which is refreshing is bhakti. Just like I saw the Mangal Arati was finishing, some Mataji was running like anything to have last darshan of Shyam Sundar. I mean, I can assume that. He was running heavy. Like this. The devotees are so eager to have darshan of Radha Shyam Sundar. They are not eager to. We were earlier running for movie probably, for movies coming and running. Same way they are running to Shyam Sundar. Shruti vipratipanna te yadasthasyati nischala samadha vachala buddhistada yogam avapsasi. Shruti vipratipanna te. What is Shruti viprati? Or without being influenced by the fruitive results. So when your mind is not affected by all the promises of fruitive results in the Vedas, then samadha vachala buddhis, then your buddhi will become fixed. Please hear this because this will connect to the theme of tomorrow's lecture. Samadha achala buddhis, then your buddhi, intelligence becomes fixed. Then tada yogam avapsasi, then you will attain the platform of yoga. That means now, then there is no doubt that I have to do bhakti only. Or kuch nahi karna hai bas. All the promises of Vedas, all the promises of this material world, that you become very exalted by doing this, everything he becomes indifferent to. Nahi, kuch bhi nahi hoga. I won't become happy by that. Okay, last shloka today. Oh, it was the last shloka.
After 52
Did I skip? No. So, okay, this will now build up the question of Arjuna. What are the symptoms of a person who have attained this state of yoga? Sthita pragya se ka bhasha samadhistastu keshava. That we'll discuss tomorrow. Any questions? I'll take up. Prabhuji, I thought you will leave us immediately. No. There is no question. Flowery doesn't mean wrong knowledge, na? Because Vedas are still transcendental, because sometimes it is said that in indirect way it hints Krishna. Like if flowery means it is not transcendental. Flowery means it is very attractive, so that you become inspired to act for those fruitive actions and to go to Swarga. That's not transcendental. That's what the Lord is saying. Traigunya Vishaya Veda. They are dealing with mundane material, not mundane by mundane only, material knowledge to make you attracted to the material world. But the same way that they are also offering the knowledge by which you can get out of it. Please read whole comment. Okay. What is that comment? It indirectly hints Krishna, like it is said, I worship Indra, you will go to heaven. So in hidden meaning, Indra is name of Krishna because Lord is king and Indra. I have not read all these things. Indra is not the name of Krishna, but obviously Indra, we can say simple understanding, simple thing. Vedas are giving you karma kanda because a person wants karma kanda. Okay? And in that way, they will get gradually purified. Ultimately, they will understand. Then they will come to Gyan Kanda, then they will come to other things. And then somehow that if they get associated of devotees, then they will do bhakti and go back to God. So now we'll leave you and yeah. Shastras discourage multitasking. Can you explain the comment or question? So the Shastras discourage multitasking. What does it mean, multitasking? I don't understand. I am not so intelligent. I have to multitasking. अब इसमें purport देना पड़ेगा. Question के ऊपर purport देना पड़ेगा भाई. I don't understand. See, Shastras explain to you as per our consciousness. Ultimate the conclusion of Shastra we must know. शास्त्रों का वह सार बताइए जो परम कल्याणमय हो. Is it not? What is the essence of all Shastras which will satisfy the soul? Ahetuki bhakti towards Krishna. Adhokshaj. So when we have bhakti to Krishna, then we become satisfied. That we must understand.
Also in lecture, when you ask why there are so many things in scriptures, they said that when you go to shopkeepers, there are many kinds of prices. There are 30 rupees, 40 rupees, 60 rupees. If you only give 70 rupees, everybody will not take that. That's why the
yeah, so there are different propositions in the Vedas because people have different levels of consciousness. So addressing their consciousness, the Vedas will say like that. But ultimate highest offering of the Vedas is to you do bhakti to Krishna and then you go back to Krishna. Okay? Thank you all the devotees for coming here. Hopefully you understood something. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.